Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, please be sure and tap on the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. Also, if you hit the little like button, we appreciate that too. Anyway, let's see here. In our last video, we installed the cam bearing in this 65. And as it turns out, I think I said this, these turned out to be original 65 cases, and we have the original 65 cam cover to put back on it. So everything's going to come out real nice here. So let's see. Let's have a look here. The best way to do this is to line up all those timing marks. So by rotating the engine till we get the main timing mark on the pinion gear up, right there it is. Then we can put this gear in, which times the circuit breaker, which we will have to remove and reinstall when we're done. But we have this one here lined up. This one here is the idler between this one that runs the circuit breaker and the generator. No timing necessary there. There's no mark for it. So we have it here timed properly here. We have our main timing mark straight up. And this is the breather gear. We have our new cam bearing in there. Well, I think it's time to put in the cam. We're just putting a stock Harley cam in there. You know, is it an FL or an FLH? I don't know. It's not really marked clearly. So there it is. If you look at those lobes, you know, the original cams in these motors were fairly aggressive. So I've already lubed the whole inside of that bearing, and what I'll do, if everything measures out here, I'll put some assembly lube on all these gears anyway. So let's have a look here. We've got two marks here on the cam gear. Now someone's going to ask what these are. These are size marks. Okay, this one here, we're going to want to line up right there on the pinion gear, and this one on the breather gear, because the breather gear must be timed. Okay, so we're going to slide that right in there, and we may get it right on the first poke, and we might not. So we're going to try to start it into the bearing, and we're going to put that one right there. And there it is. And you can see the, would you like my light on that, Mike? Is that too bright? You can see the timing gear here, the timing mark here, 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 and here. Perfect. So now we don't know, there's other things we don't know that we'd like to know, such as, is the breather gear set right? Now this is the breather gear shim, which we can take off and put on. They come in a whole bunch of different thicknesses. And so we're going to check this right now for its end play. It's really hard because what happens is the oil keeps coming out here. And I'm trying to be good to this new gasket. I really don't want to ruin it. We'll put the gasket in place. And then we'll do this here. We'll set a straight edge on it. And we'll put a feeler gauge in there. Now I already checked it. It's about 10 thousandths. Now, 10 thousandths, and you can subtract what's going to happen to that gasket when you tighten down the cam cover, which is about 6 thousandths of crush. So if we do that, that's what we're going to have. You know, I don't believe this is the right gasket. I believe this to be a knuckle gasket. And if this is the same gasket, we're not going to be able to do it. Nope. Well, you know, that one's already oily. So I'll probably just go ahead and waste that gasket putting the cam cover on. But this hole here is in the wrong spot. This is not the right gasket. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it together anyway and take it apart for the purpose of this video, and then we will take it apart again and replace that gasket. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of oil on these shafts, assembly lube. There it comes. There we go. I just don't want to tear up anything. So we'll just kind of do that a little bit. A little bit of lube here, a little bit of lube there, and then I'll be happy to put that cam cover on, which I'm going to do right now. Now, this is the proper cam cover for this motor, and we're hoping it fits right on the way it's supposed to. And I just knocked my, whatever you call it, out of my pocket. Okay. Hello, Kenny. We got a wrong gasket here.
Uh-oh. We're going to change the tire real quick on the machine.
Okay, I'll be done here in just a few minutes. Just a couple here, if you know. It's not the right one. It's a knuckle gasket. Yeah. I mean, it's cute and all that, but it's just not the right one.
Okay.
I'll probably rob it from you for my knuckle, so there. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a couple of screws in here so that we can check the end play on the cam gear, and then we'll be done. So let's just do that here real quick like. It's a good idea to put the screws in like this. Instead of putting them all in, we're just going to check with it. So I'm going to put 4 in. I like to put 4 in because that way we've got nice even pressure all the way around on that cam going into the cam bearing in the case. So there's 3. And we'll put 1 down here, and that should do it. One, 2, 3, and 4 is right here. Right there. Okay, so let's see what kind of clearance we have in there. So we're going to look right into the motor here. Oh, and that cam feels so good. It obviously lines up both ends with the bushing and the bearing. That makes me real happy. So I think what I'm going to have here is about 14 thousandths from what it looks like. And if that's the case, I'll be pretty happy with it. 14, 15 will be fine by me. That's it. Actually, it's a little too much. I'm going to put a little bit smaller, a little bit thicker cam shim in there by about 5 thousandths, because that's about, I don't know, we're getting up to around 16, 17 thousandths, and that's a little more than I'd like. Let's try a 16 feeler gauge in there and see what it looks like. Yeah. No? Let's see how 17 fits. I think that's about it, though. Let's see. There's a 17, an 18, and a 19. Okay. So let's try the 17. 18. Yeah, we got too much end play in that cam. But I sure like the way it floats back and forth. Okay, 19. And 20 probably won't go in there, or just barely. Yep, 20 is too tight. So what we need to do is put a cam shim in there that's about 5 thousandths thicker than the one that's in there. And we'll do that when we get the right gasket. We'll get that gasket in here and be able to put this thing back together right and get it going. We're going to put a set of hydraulic lifters in it. We've got some nice stuff to go in it. So it'll be a nice little project. But in the meantime, just like anyone else's project, we got a wrong part. We're going to have to stop right here and get the right one. So until then, I'll see you out on the road.